Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Emily and in today's video I will be creating this card with you. You can see this is a sliding card featuring some of the new goodies from Trinity stamps. So I'm excited. It's also a shaker card. But first off, I decided to create my background, and to do that I am taking my splatter box, and I'm sorry I'm a little close to the camera here. I have built up quite a lot, and the colors I'm using is the Distressed Mica Stain, I believe, colors. You can see I have some watercolor papers. I'm just mixing my colors. I have some blue, some purple, some pink, some green, some red, and they pretty much create a rainbow of color and some mud in the middle, but it all ended up well in the end. For the focal point, I'm using the Blast Off die set. You can see it here on screen. It doesn't come like this. Mine is an example. Since I'm on Trinity's design team, I get my products a little bit ahead, so I can go ahead and create some inspirational projects for you. And that means also that the packaging isn't always completely done when I get my products. So I'm sorry if it looks a little bit weird. Yours will look amazingly beautiful, so don't worry about that. For my little ship here, I cut all the pieces out of some pink and some yellow orangey tones for the sort of fire. And you can see my rocket here is pretty much done. It goes together so quickly, and I wanted this one to have some dimension just to make it look 3D when it's all put together. So cute. And for that little opening, the window for our racket, so for the window I would create that, as I said, into a shaker. I just cut that element a couple of times and stacked it up, and of course I had to get some glue on top of it. I always do that for some reason, mess my projects up. And then I will not use that embellishment mix. I will use this one. It's a multicolor meteorite, I think it's called, or something like that. I will have it listed down below. It's one of the newer ones from Trinity. So cute, and I thought that pink would match perfectly with our project today, and you can see it here. It has some stars in it, so cute. And then when I'm happy with the amount of goodies that I put in there, we can go ahead and attach this with some liquid glue. And you can see this was pretty much the most time consuming part for this rocket, because it really was a little bit fiddly to get all of those goodies to stay inside of that circle, but in the end it was worth the time. You can see how cute that is. And then we can go ahead and work on our background. So I messed up a couple of times before I figured out how to use those bits and pieces that looks like clouds, but I guess is sort of the smoke that comes from the rocket. And I wanted that in this gray color. I first cut it out of my beautiful background, but I decided to go ahead and push through and save whatever could be saved, and because I didn't like how it looked. And you can see I will now, when I'm happy with the smoke, I will go ahead and use another die set. This is from the emergency card set number 3, and it has a ton of pieces that can create interactive cards. And I just pulled out this little funny looking piece, but it cuts this slit into my paper, which is very handy because I can now fit another element through that. It also comes in this emergency card kit set number 3 and create an interactive piece. So that is really fun. So you can see here, this is the thing that's gonna make our racket move, and you can see that up in my left corner that I cut it out of some gray cardstock, and that it really looks funny. You can see it here in a second. I'm a little bit too close for the camera. I'm so sorry about that, but I hope you will see in a second that it looks a little bit funny, and you can see the legs coming out on the front of our panel. I don't know exactly if this is how it's meant to be working, but I use it like this and I had no problem, and it worked fine for the thing I did today. So guess what I'm trying to say is that you can do whatever, but this works. I thought I could glue it straight down, but I didn't like it, so I wanted some dimension. So I will actually rip this off and then put some dimension to the mechanism I just created for making it move over the smoke that we just put there. So it took me some time to figure that out. Now I'm ripping it off, and you can see me pull out some foam tape here in a second, and I can go ahead and put that on top. And then we can pull our racket back on top of that, and I actually stuck it 2 times so it has some dimension. So there you go. You can see the rocket is now moving, but I want something to pull it with, so I will now go ahead and turn my card front in a second here around. Before I'm doing that, I will have some more smoke coming out from the rocket, so you can see I will just cut these pieces away. Love this. And then there also is this shape that comes in that emergency, and I just run it through my machine, and I should have done this before, but I didn't. This is one of my most used stamp set. It has all of those sentiments for interactive cards. So I just pulled out the one that said pull, and I can attach this to our mechanism. And I'm doing that when the mechanism is at the lowest point, so it's just peeking out, and I cut that freehandly. So I'm pretty much impressed by my own cutting skills here. It isn't perfect, but it's okay. And then we can take some foam tape to the back of this to make our mechanism stay in place. So I'm making sure that I have everything aligned, pulling out the release paper, and then I wanted this to really be in the right place all the time, so I took some more tape to the back, making sure that I had this in the highest position when I did it, so I'm not going to interfere with the mechanism movement. And then we can attach this to a top folded note card. This is just a black card front that I created, and you can see how that works. For the sentiment, I went with the one from the Blast Off die set that says have a blast. I thought that was cute, and of course gold was on the racket. I wanted some more gold for my sentiment, and you can't have too much gold on a card, right? Hopefully you can't anyway. And I also will decorate this with some small stars. This is my most used embellishment, I think, in my stash. I have I think 2 packs of these, and I need to pick a 3rd one up because I love the small stars the best, and I'm using them so much, even though it comes with like, it feels like millions, but of course it isn't, but it feels like it's small stars in this. I have used it a ton, and they are soon done. So you can see how nicely that finished off our project with that little bit hint of sparkle, our moving element here that will bring our rocket up, and of course the shaker element for our project. I hope you enjoyed this video and got inspired to create something. I will have links down below for you for all of the things that I used, and until next time, have a great day. Bye!